Hey everybody, and welcome to week 4 of the eLeague of Ireland tournament powered by Virgin Media. It's been a long road so far, but we still have more action to come. There's been 5 weeks of competitions between 20 clubs for a live final coming up very soon in the Camden on April 18th. Joining me today with commentary, we have example Eric Finn, of course, representing Dundalk. Eric, how are you doing today?
Yeah, all good. We're back after obviously nearly a 2 week break from the ELOI. Excited to get back into things and see a new face today, which is going to be Shamrock Rovers, who we haven't actually watched this year yet.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we've got a great fixture coming up live on stream. But before we chat about that, let's take a look at all of our fixtures happening today. So kicking us off for our 7:30, we have Cork City's Kieran Walsh up against St. Pat's Sebastian Bury. We have Drogheda United's Owen Mulligan up against Sligo Rovers' Keelan Byrne. We have Shamrock Rovers' Tyrone Ryan facing off against Athlone Town's Lee Kieran's. And of course, we have Dundalk's Eric Finn against Kerry FC's Nollaig O'Donnell. And then at 8 p.m., we have Finn Harp's Ryan Duffy against Treaty United's Colin Maher. We have Longford Town Jack Fitzpatrick versus Bray Wanderers' Luciano Gobb. And UCD's JP Sleater versus Galway United's Owen Fahy. Those are our fixtures. But the one on stream, of course, that we're talking about is going to be Tyrone Ryan versus Lee Kieran's. Eric, tell us all about this fixture.
Yeah, so pretty much we've had Lee Kieran's in the ELOI before in 2021. He did pretty well. He made top 8 that time round, and he hasn't competed until this tournament. So, and again, he's doing pretty good. He's in second. He has already taken a loss to Tyrone Ryan, pretty heavily as well. 9-3 was the scoreline last time round. But we've got to see him ourselves here this year, and he's done really well. We were very surprised at how good he was on the ball and his dribbling. So he's definitely not going to go without a shout. You know, again, he's going to really put it to Tyrone. And I'm actually excited to see Tyrone. Obviously, he quarterfinalist last year, and he had won the inaugural ELOY back in 2021. So it's a very competitive fixture, and I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a very interesting fixture. For a quick moment, let's take a look at our Group C table, show you guys what we're looking at here. So we can see Tyrone Ryan on the very, very top of the leaderboard there, representing Shamrock Rovers to the highest of levels here. Right behind him, though, we have Lee Kieran's, like we were talking about there with Athlone Town. Both of these guys done extremely well to be at the top of the leaderboard, and they're flying up there for a reason, Eric.
Yeah, pretty much. It's obviously Jack Fitzpatrick, who was in third. He did really well in the EFAI Cup that we only seen about a month and a half ago or so. He finished the top 8 in the country for that, you know, making the knockout stages, and he did pretty well. But Lee didn't play in that tournament at all, and he's came in flying. He's actually taken both wins from Jack Fitzpatrick and sees himself with 12 points. So obviously, goal difference wise is a huge factor here with Tyrone. If Lee is to beat him, if the group finishes on the same amount of points, then Tyrone would edge on goal difference, unless Tyrone has a major slippy end to the tournament where he stays on 15 points and Lee can find himself on 18. So it's going to be really hard for Lee to get that first place spot, but he's doing pretty well so far.
Yeah, like we said there, Lee, we've seen him on stream as well. He's a fantastic player. We know what he's available to do right now. But a person on stream we haven't seen is Tyrone Ryan, and a very high standard player he is, Eric.
Yeah, like I have had the pleasure of playing with him for probably about 4 years with Ireland at competitions like the E Nations as well. So it's going to be an interesting one. I think he is a very good player, very quiet in person. You know, he keeps everything very close to his chest. He doesn't let too much emotions out. So I'd imagine the type of player that he is composed but quiet, and that's kind of how he does it. He lets his talking on the pitch do everything for him, but other than that, it should be a good game.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a tough one to gauge here, Eric, but I got to get your prediction here. What do we see happening? Shamrock Rovers, Athlone Town, Tyrone Ryan, Lee Kieran. Score prediction.
Okay, I think Lee is going to get a goal or two up, but I think Tyrone's going to just be too strong for him in the end. For the first leg, anyway, I'm going to go 5-2 to Tyrone.
Okay, 5-2. Well, listen, we have all the talk done. It's now game time. Here we go. Shamrock Rovers versus Athlone Town. Let's kick off the action. Oh, I think we've just lost connection, actually. We'll have to come back to the game in just a moment, guys. Just had a little bit of a brief pause before kickoff, Eric, but on a big game like this, you want to make sure the both guys are ready.
Yeah, exactly that. You know, it can happen in every sport. Delays occur, and this is just one of them things. Especially in FC, it's just sometimes you have no choice in the matter. And right now, I'd imagine one of the lads just internet isn't Virgin Media. It sounds that way.
That's listen. I'm wearing the top right now. I'm just saying, if you are referred to me, things like that will not happen. So you know what broadband provider to choose. But yeah, listen, it's going to be a great game. I'm happy as well if a reset's needed. We've seen occasions where people have the wrong settings on, and
Oh
especially in a
yeah.
pro event, you want to make sure everything is tidy. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Tyrone Ryan live on the stream here. This is a clash for the top of the table, Eric. We've seen some games on stream, but a top of the table fixture is what people at home are going to love to watch.
Yeah, exactly. So like you had, I think we've nearly had it in every group now. We had Emerald versus Welly, who was top of Group A. We had obviously the Group B that is phenomenal at the moment. Three of them within a shout of getting through the groups. We've had Group D, myself and JP. We went at it as well. So now finally, Group C is getting the two top dogs fighting, and then whoever's going to be the best man is going to get the 3 points.
And speaking of the 3 points, here we go. We have Tyrone Ryan of Shamrock Rovers versus Lee Kieran's of Athlone Town. Shamrock Rovers on the ball very, very quickly here with Tyrone Ryan. Or 9 on the ball and defended well by Lee. And talking about this fixture, Eric, it's not going to be not just one leg, but it's a two-leg fixture. So plenty chance for both sides to get back into this action if game one doesn't go their way.
Yeah, exactly that. And I'm actually surprised to see Finn Azaz has stayed in the teams, Tyrone's team, and right back. Considering we have plenty of new items out, considering Paddy's Day brought out the likes of a lovely Collins card. Iadozi Bene came out as well. So I'm surprised to still see that 83 rated Finn Azaz still in teams. It's actually kind of cool.
I mean, it is cool. You're not going to see it anywhere else but the eLeague of Ireland, I'll tell you that. Even in the fixtures though, Eric, we did see Finn Azaz in the ball, and he was doing a lot in terms of defense. We talked about wing backs such as Katie McCabe. Finn Azaz definitely has a bit of height here, but I might be interrupted. Ham on the ball, red time shot against Tyrone Ryan, and Lee is going to feel that one, Eric. That was a big chance for him to get an early goal.
Yeah, I remember ourselves even for the EFAI Cup, we casted over Tyrone for that, about 2 months ago, and he did something very similar when he played against Owen Mulligan. In the final, he just gifted him the ball, and Owen Mulligan took his chance. So obviously Tyrone, something that he has to get out of his game that he hasn't been able to in the last 2 months or so is gifting his opponent the ball with a easy chance to give.
Yeah, you got to be very careful. But here's De Bruyne and Haaland on the left foot to make it 1-0 here to Shamrock Rovers. Tyrone Ryan breaks the lock here 12 minutes in, and it was a great goal.
Yeah, look, he's very hard to stop. He may give chances away that are fairly simple to score from, but he will definitely go down the other side and do just as good. Yeah, he is a really good player, and I'm glad to be able to get to see him in this tournament. He's a fairly respected player in general, and it's just not. We haven't had the chance to really showcase his skills on
Yeah.
the ELOI 24 streams yet. So I'm glad today is that day.
And we're going to see over 2 legs if he's going to be the one to come out on top of this fixture. Already leading here early, 1-0. And dare I say, it could be 2 shortly if he keeps playing the way he is. We could see by Tyrone Ryan as well, for anybody watching at home. Very, very attacking player. And even from the start, he's really upping the pace.
Yeah, he does come out the blocks pretty quick now, I must say. But at the moment, I think Lee's gonna just try and get the ball on the ground and try and make a bit of movement himself. There's one player that actually Tyrone has in his squad that we haven't seen a lot of, and it's really surprising. And that's actually Ronaldo. Just good old Brazilian
Yeah.
Ronaldo. For some reason or other, people are opting out. Obviously, with the Irish restrictions involved that we do have, it's harder to fit players in. So for me, I use Mbappe and Haaland, while he is opting for no Mbappe at all, and then putting R9 in there instead. So it's an interesting one.
It is an interesting one. I suppose at the top level, either of those players should get
Yeah.
the job done. Of course, though, Mbappe being a lot of the pros' favourites, and for good reason. I mean, what an incredible player. But yeah, R9, we're going to see if you can get on the score sheet today, and potentially a Robbie Keane, Eric. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I haven't said I can't see a Robbie Keane today just yet, but I hope one of them has him on the bench. And I'll tell you some breaking news, Gareth. I have dropped Robbie Keane from my bench.
No, Eric, come on. You can't be
Yeah,
doing that.
I'm sorry. Bobby Charlton has got dropped from the starting 11. and he's now finding himself on the bench, and Robbie Keane just does not have a place anymore. And you know what? It broke my heart to tell him because Robbie Keane wasn't too impressed.
I'd say he wasn't impressed, but here's Ham on the far side and defended well by
Wow.
Collins. Really, really good last ditch tackle there. Eric, I got to ask you, who's your replacement then for Charlton in the starting 11?
Ogbene is in there now. Good
I
old
had a
Ogbene.
feeling. I had a
Yeah.
feeling that new card is just crazy, right?
Yeah, he knows ball. You know what I mean? And then hopefully he scores a few tonight as well because that card, hopefully, I'd like to see a better version of that card if possible. I know it is
Yeah.
already very good, but he is phenomenal in real life as well. He's done some job with Luton this year.
Yeah, no, he really, really has. And look, I'm sure we're going to see some of his cards being played here in the E-League of Ireland. But here's Cullen on the far side of it, another great player who just came out with a card. Best on the ball at the left side. Lee looking for an option here in the middle, goes back to Cullen, finds Chouameni, tries to get it through to Mbappe. Cullen again on the ball. It's very scrappy here by Lee. He just can't get past Tyrone Ryan's defense here. Tyrone put up a brick wall, and Lee's finding it difficult to break it down.
Yeah, but you know what? Even the chance with Mia Hamm a few minutes ago, I really thought that was offside. But you
Yeah.
know, Lee is really finding some pockets of space in behind Tyrone's defense. He just needs to try and, you know, must up some composure when he is inside the box to really finish the chance that he has in front of him because the chances are there. It's just the finishing and composure, not quite at the moment.
Yeah, I just can't get the right pass in the last, press of the ball where it needs to be going. But he has to defend the attack now of Tyrone. Patelis on the ball, goes back to Keane. De Bruyne on the edge of the box. Davies, what's he doing in the box? We know he has a left foot. Ronaldo! Great save by the goalkeeper. And, we've seen a fair amount of pressure by Lee in the last couple of minutes. But Tyrone puts an attack forward. Got very close there again.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to happen again and again. Tyrone kind of likes to box his opponents in and just hope that he suffocates them with pressure. Very similar to Man City's style of play, realistically. But at the moment, Lee coming forward nicely, and he broke out of that out of that attack from Tyrone with it fair ease, I'd say. Obviously, Ronaldo had a nice shot, but it's enough to escape from.
Yeah, Lee going forward here again. Really good pass, and he's really chaining it together. Cullen moving past that defense, but Finn Azaz on the far right side is going to be the man to break up the play there. And it has to be said, Eric, we're 45 minutes in. I know Tyrone got the early goal, but Lee looks like he's coming into this game a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. That I'm fairly certain as well. In the ELOI last year, when Tyrone played against Emerald in the quarterfinals, it was a similar kind of story. That Shamrock Rovers got ahead and done well to be in front, but then they just kept dogging away. Did Emerald dogged, and ended up Tyrone losing on goal and goal. So it could be an interesting one. If you can tie Tyrone down to say a 1-goal lead and then just try and fight your way back into the game. It's something we've seen him fall to before, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it again.
I mean, and going off that information, Eric, talking about the last fixture, was it 9-3 over the two legs? I mean, looking at the both players here right now, you wouldn't think that would have been the scoreline.
No, exactly. I guess when, especially it was an earlier fixture, so it's probably one of the first in the whole tournament. I'd imagine Lee has sharpened his skills since then as well.
Yeah.
But a game of FC, you can be 2 goals ahead or so, and then one player really needs to push on to get them 3 points. And you could see 3 goals within a matter of minutes. So I guess we don't know the full story. We only have the picture.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of... Oh, that is absolutely nasty. And Lee's brought it out here for an equalizing goal. Eric, that dribbling in the box, the passing, and just the reaction time there was absolutely phenomenal by Lee.
Yeah, we've always said it ourselves when we watched him the last time. He is a really, really good player that has to be respected. And right there was why. A lovely ball across the box. And again, he took his time with nice dribbling and an easy layoff to make this game 1-1.
Oh, and he had another chance there, just took an extra touch. As we said already, just before that 45th minute, we said Lee's coming back into this game, and he's proven us right with that attack very, very early on in the second half. But here comes Tyrone Ryan. Ronaldo! Great defending by Collins there and Cullen to break it out. And it's great to see these Irish cards as well getting heavily involved in both of these teams.
Yeah, it really is. So, we have the likes of Josh Cullum, who is obviously playing tonight as well. We have Collins in the defense there. And we also see some Finn Azaz. So there's the likes of Best and stuff that we had seen in previous weeks of ELOI are starting to get pushed out of the team. And we're seeing the likes of, Collins defensive players more so. But right now, lovely chance from Lee. I think we should have seen some Duffy cheese there. If he took an extra step and then just placed it between the goalkeeper's legs, that would have been a very interesting
yeah, that was
incident.
close. It was really close. I know. I literally I made a tutorial video on that recently, so I was like, "Here
Did
we
you?
go." Yeah, I did. I was like, after watching the E-League of Ireland, I was like, "Yo, this is a new skill. I gotta tell everybody about this, right?" So yeah, I made the video, and oh man, I was expecting that to be a cheeky little nutmeg of the keeper there, but we didn't get to see it just yet. But here is Haaland. Tyrone Ryan finds a path through on goal. Has a man in the middle. He doesn't get it out to him. Goalkeeper rushes. Pass was on there. Didn't find it though, Eric.
No, I think he was using the extra player as bait, and he was always going to go by himself. Well, great goalkeeper, bringing out, I guess, our goalkeeper rushing from Lee.
Yeah.
He knew that he was going to use the extra player as bait, so he decided then if you're going to 1 versus 1, the player defensively, he's going to also bring out the goalkeeper to make it a 2v2.
Yeah, it was very, very well done by Lee to pick the right decision there.
Yeah.
In any given moment where there's a cutback on, to pick the right option. I mean, for some people it's 50-50, and he gets it right there. Great bit of trickery there by Lee out the far side, but Tyrone Ryan steps back and composes himself with that defending. I mean, 1-1 right now. Oh, and Lee gets the ball again. Tyrone gives it away. Mbappe has space in the middle. Can he go through for the cutback? It's defended well, and we can see this lapse of judgments here by Tyrone Ryan. He keeps making these mistakes.
Yeah, as I said, we seen it 2 months ago, and we're seeing it again now. Things like that are very interesting in terms of his type of game. He attacks so much, and there is obviously another leg to go here. But it's very interesting that it's still something that we see quite often in his game. Twice already within 70 minutes.
Yeah, very, very crazy moments of time there with Lee. He's had 2 opportunities to get a goal from it. Hasn't taken the opportunity so far, but there's still time on the clock. 71 minutes in here. Lee on the ball moving forward. Tries to switch it, but just not the ball that needs to be played. And now he could have a centre back out. Tyrone Ryan on the break here. He has Haaland running through the middle. It's not looking good, but Collins is there. And if there's any Irish centre back you want to battle Haaland, should I say, it's going to be Collins.
Yeah, right there and then. It was a lovely bit of defending from Collins and Lee. And once again, he's breaking forward. This game is just all out attack at the moment, really. I don't think there's any inkling of game management being involved in this at all. They both really want to win, and I guess Lee obviously has to go for the win. But for me, there's plenty of ways to win, and going all out attack doesn't always have to be the case.
Oh, and that's unbelievable by Tyrone Ryan to get the finish with Patelis. Unbelievable skill and trickery with R9. Finds Patelis in the middle, and look, that's Tyrone Ryan. It's what he can do. He's a high-level player, and we're seeing it right there.
Yeah, it was great, realistically. But right there, Lee's after giving the ball away, and Collins has brought him down, and this looks bad for Lee. There is only 15 minutes left in this leg, so he'd need to keep himself in it, but that is going to be a red card. And now we're going to see what could be our first free kick of the ELOI, and he's going to go across net, as I would too. Is he just going to lay it off? No, he's not. He's going to... Oh, lovely. Off the line. That was badly needed. And now it's got to be an interesting final 11 minutes because Collins is now off the pitch.
It's crazy. It's been a moment of madness, Eric. We see Collins bring the man down. Didn't even slide, just took him out of it. And that's a red card. And, what are we seeing here? Like, I know different players play it differently, Eric, in terms of, what man do you want to be down? For me, for example, I might take a midfielder out of the game, but I know some players who might prefer to actually take a wing back out of the game. What's your thoughts on that?
So for me, I would usually, because chem styles are still applied to players around the pitch, I wouldn't bring on a centre back specifically for whoever got sent off. I would probably move somebody about, whether it's a centre mid, back to centre back, because the chem style will still be applied and make them a lot faster than somebody off the bench.
Okay.
What's a lovely header from Ruben Diaz that nearly sends Tyrone into a 3-goal-1 lead. But once again, coming forward with a corner. R9 looking back post. Mia Hamm, of all players, you want to be there. It's not her.
No, it's not Mia Hamm. You're looking for a Haaland back there, if anybody, but was not the case here. And now Lee trying to get the ball out, but he's rushing it here, and Tyrone might have to make him pay for that. Here's Best on the ball. Tries to dribble through, and Rolfo there to collect it. Another great card. Got an upgrade there last week. I'm sure a lot of these players, if they do have Rolfo on the team, they're going to enjoy that one.
I never did it myself. I never done the SBC. Wasn't something I was very interested in, but now looking at our upgrades, I'm feeling a bit sad about it all.
I did it straight away, man. I mean, with that Barcelona squad, there's going to be wins. But here's Ronaldo on the ball. Bit of trickery there, but Great defended by Lee to stand in the middle. 2-1. We have a couple of minutes left on the clock here. Lee breaking down that wing. He's one attack left to do here, Eric. Potentially with the time remaining, we know Tyrone could potentially waste time here, and he loses the ball. Pressure is against Lee here.
Yeah, it's tough to lose the ball like that as well. Like, was it simple enough throwing, and Mbappe decides to duck underneath it. And, you know, the last attack of this leg could be a really interesting scoreline if a goal is scored here. It could nearly kill the whole game off for leg 2, depending, because if Tyrone gets his 2-goal lead, he'll feel pretty happy about it. Right now, he goes for the fake power shot, looking inside, gets the ball. Another last to go of some sort. I'm losing my track of thought. It's lovely footwork. It's a great save from Schmeichel.
Unbelievable play, and he kept faking the skills and the power. Tyrone was really keeping Lee on the edge of his seat there. And here is the final attack. Kevin De Bruyne. Lovely La Croqueta has R9 in the middle. R9 to make it 3-1. Tyrone Ryan to pinch another goal just at the end of the game. And that's going to be 3-1 in the first leg. Shamrock Rovers taking the lead over Athlone Town. Eric, that was a very entertaining game.
Yeah, it was. You know, it was back and forth for plenty of it. Obviously, the red card didn't help Lee at all. But 3 goals to 1 isn't actually too bad, realistically. 2 goals is definitely something Lee is good enough to do here. Whether it's going to happen or not is another case. And obviously, he'll have all 11 men back on the pitch for leg 2, just so everybody is aware at home. It's going to be difficult, you know, considering how good Tyrone is. But we've seen him give the ball away defensively a couple of times. If Lee could just capitalize on that, you know, this could be a completely different game.
Yeah, look, there's been a couple of big chances for Lee. I completely agree. Where we're seeing the lapse of judgment from Tyrone, just giving the ball away. But look, it's been a close game. You know, once again, we talked about the previous fixture and the scoreline. That game could have been either way. But I really think when it came down to it at the very, very end, you see when Tyrone Ryan really just flicked that switch with the dribbling, with the passing. We can see he's a very dangerous player anywhere near the box.
Yeah, no, he's phenomenal, to be fair to him. There's a reason that he was champion 2-3 years ago, that he's been involved in the Ireland squad for many years now as well. It's it's really interesting to see him and how good he still is. You know, it's not easy to be good at specific different versions of a football simulator, and you know he's done that. So fair play to him. And we still have another leg here. It's not over yet, so I'm interested to see how Lee's got to come back.
Yeah, listen, after the first leg, it's 3-1. We were going to have a small break right now. When we return, we're going to have leg 2 between Shamrock Rovers and Athlone Town. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, and welcome back here to our second leg between Shamrock Rovers and Athlone Town. Eric, we've seen a great fixture there, 3-1 to Tyrone Ryan over Lee Kieran's. And the second leg is going to be very interesting from what we've seen from the first.
Yeah, exactly. Lee had plenty of chances there to, equalize or even get in front. But Tyrone, he was too strong in the end for him, and proved why he is an ELOI champion, albeit a few years ago. And again, he's looking for that this year. So he shows himself as a very skillful player. Lee has to do plenty to get back into this game. 3-1 to Tyrone. It's very possible. We've seen the mistakes that Tyrone could make defensively, but he just needs to find out how to stop him attacking.
Yeah, we've really seen near the end of that first leg, Tyrone Ryan, like I said, he flicked that switch,
Yeah.
and he just turns on different styles of play, whether it's his passing, his dribbling, and even his skill and his shot cancelling in the box that we've seen there just at the end. What does Lee need to do to get back into this? We know we've seen him create opportunities, and nearly to an equal amount, I'd say, as Tyrone for a majority of the game. What does he need to do in the second leg to bring it to Tyrone Ryan?
It's got to be really hard. Like it's a very difficult task. 2 goals is not a lot. That's what you have to tell yourself in these scenarios: is not get carried away. Like think, oh, 2 goals down. I have to get back into it. I have to get back into it. You'll become too direct, pull your defenders out of place, and you'll find yourself 4 goals down very quickly. So he just needs to compose himself and try and get 1 goal before half time. And if he can do that, then try and cut the deficit once again. It's one of them things, but it is going to be difficult. Tyrone is a very good player. Just try and defend well and then take your chances when they come.
Yeah, we've seen he has the ability to score goals here against Tyrone, but like you said earlier, can he defend Tyrone's attack? We're going to have to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our second leg. Shamrock Rovers Tyrone Ryan versus Athlone Town's Lee Kieran's. Let's get into the action. So here we go, our second leg. We've seen what Lee can do on the ball here. He needs an early start here, Eric, against Tyrone, because I feel like when it comes to that second half, Tyrone's going to know how to close this game out.
Yeah, but again, we always say Tyrone comes bursting out the blocks pretty quick every say half, we'll say. So once again, we're probably going to see something similar here. But Lee just taking care of the ball. Obviously, Athlone shooting from left to right, and Shamrock Rovers shooting from right to left. So obviously Athlone in white and Shamrock Rovers in black, if that makes more sense to you. But yeah, it's got to be a difficult game. Tyrone, he's starting a little bit slower here. Maybe the first leg has not shook him, but made him understand how serious this game could be for him.
Yeah, I mean, going on paper, at the top of the table, I'm sure after the previous fixture, Tyrone might have looked at this and said, oh, this could be an easy night for myself. But, going off what Lee's proven already, he has a chance to get back into this game. And here we might see it. The chance of Bene in the keeper movement, I believe, was fantastic there from Tyrone Ryan near post. And it was saved.
Yeah, again, another great chance for Lee. It's just, he just needs to get around and compose himself when he gets in and around that spot, because he finds that space pretty well inside the box with the keeper movement and the defensive placement from Tyrone Ryan. It's been really, really strong so far.
Yeah, it's really, really well played by both players on attack and defense here. It's going to be offside. Try to get the switch there. But Tyrone comes out with the ball. 2 goals still in this fixture right now. Tyrone, like you said earlier there, Eric, 2 goals, it sounds like a lot, but in any 5 or 10 minute gap in the game, you can get those goals very easily.
Yeah, exactly. He just has to tell himself that it's not the worst thing in the world to be 2 down. Like I find myself 2 goals down fairly often, especially in foot champs. I swear to God, I think I find myself losing more so than winning, and right up
Yeah.
until the death, which is very annoying for me because nobody leaves then. But yeah, so you just have to tell yourself it's grand. I can get back into it. I just can't go crazy because right now he has got a goal and he has done a bit of Duffy cheese. Ogbene gets a lovely finish, just rolls it past the goalkeeper who was left lifeless.
Wow, he just P-rolled it, didn't he? Past the
Yeah.
goalkeeper. I think Tyrone expected that a little bit too late, and I know what happened with the keeper movement, but Ogbene got through. We talked about his card. He has pace, he has dribbling, but that physicality of Ogbene as well is definitely a great asset to his card.
Yeah, exactly. It was a great finish. There was nothing wrong with the goal at all. But now I think Lee can't get too carried away with what's currently going on. Obviously, he has his goal now for this half. For me, it would be just pick my points, not go too crazy going forward, and then in the second half try and do the same again. Just get the 1 goal, let frustration creep into Tyrone's game, and kind of go from there. Because right now, I'm sure Tyrone's still mentally fine with the scoreline. But you just have to kind of creep into the game as best you can.
Yeah, we've seen Lee come out the gates here very strong. And Tyrone's been on the defense here for the start of this fixture. Here's Chouamani trying to move forward. Goes back and finds Cafu here. Switches it across to Maldini. Lee controlling the pace of this game much better as well from that first fixture, I think, Eric. He's really controlling tempo, and you can see it's working towards his play style.
Yeah, to be honest, like you need to the more you have the ball, the less Tyrone can attack. And Tyrone's best attribute is attacking. So realistically for me, you just have to kind of hold on to the ball, pick your points a little bit better. But, don't get carried away with bringing too many people forward. He's done well here. Ooh. Tyrone brought the keeper out at the perfect time. Very well played by Tyrone. But again, Lee finding them pockets of space. And if he keeps on going like this, he might find himself another goal.
Yeah, he did so well there. He R1 dribbled into the gap, found the driven pass as well, right into the box, but just got caught off guard with that keeper rushing. And I think that's been a big impact as well. Rushing at the keeper's helped both players here, but here's R9. Oh, what a
Penalty.
save! Oh, it's a penalty! Oh, my word! I was wondering why the shot didn't go in with R9. And what a save by the keeper, but it might not be enough. Patelis on the ball, and it's saved! He goes for the cheeky chip down the middle, Eric, and it wasn't the right choice.
No, that's what happens. This is the first time Tyrone's been on stream. I knew something was coming, and he was trying a little, what do you call it? Panenka. A
Panenka, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot the word completely. But yeah, so it didn't work out for him. That could be something that he will forget and maybe regret. But right now, still 3-2 to Shamrock Rovers.
Wow, this game is getting interesting. We've seen a penalty here early on. It's saved. But here's Tyrone Ryan. And can he make up for that chance? Tries to give the ball. Oh, 9 falls back to him. Keeper's all over the place. Oh, my word. Eric, what happened there?
I've no idea. I don't know how Ronaldo wasn't offside. Maybe the linesman knows better than I do, because for me, I thought he was ahead of the play there. But hey,
yeah.
Again, another chance gone begging for Tyrone Ryan.
And here comes Lee on the far side. Has a player in the middle. Uses the ball roll. Bit of trickery with the dribbling. Finds Best. Tries to find the pass through and rushes it. And Collins is there to take it back up. Lee wins the ball back. Very, very much attacking style of play here we're seeing from Lee. And he's really come out guns blazing here. But Tyrone gets the ball again. And, for a bit of play here, Tyrone Ryan, he's come close to a goal. But can he get something back here? Best on the ball. Great switch to Botellis. Has players in the middle. Oh, lovely 360. Hallen on the left. But Lee's defended great. Eric, this is back and forth, and it's so intense.
Yeah, exactly. I think Lee needs to kind of calm the ball down again. We saw how well he did when he built up his chances a little bit slower, a bit more methodical. It suited him, and it also allowed it allowed him to not get countered as easily. I think that was his bigger issue in the first leg. But, switches of play like this, slow the tempo down, that suits you more so, and suits Tyrone less. So that's what he should be doing. And hopefully he can get a goal back here, because it'll make it a real game, Gareth.
Yeah, it would make it a game indeed. Only one in it right now. Goes down the line, and it's going to be a corner kick. Let's see what tactic he pulls out here. Possibly a back stick cross here. It is indeed. Goes to the backside. Ogbene, what a goalkeeper goes for the volley there. We usually see a header, Eric, but that's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's a new tactic that, plenty of them are in the game completely, but it is unfortunately half time. Corners are one of the biggest things in this game this year. The Premier League itself was decided by it as well. So without Haaland, it's really difficult. And obviously, Lee doesn't have Haaland in his side. His aerial presence is just ridiculous this year. So without him, it's much more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, even though it has to be said with that Ogbene card, we've seen a lot of players, even like you said in the Premier League, using that card just because he has aerial as well. He's such a good card and really good play styles.
Yeah, he really is. I guess I used them last week, and I said, I don't know if he's my cup of tea. I used them this week. I've played plenty of practice games against, some of the best in Ireland, obviously.
Yeah.
Owen, I've played JP a few times as well, and I've gotten to grips with Ogbene and his style. He's a very unorthodox kind of card. I just feel we don't really have that type of card in the game. Somebody that's very fast, strong, with very good shooting, but also then has the defensive capabilities as well.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people use them in Premier League. So when I saw that, I said to myself, I should definitely use them in eLeague of Ireland because it just makes a bit more sense,
Yeah, 100%. And not only that, of course, but having a player closer to home who can actually fit the meta is something that we haven't seen potentially ever, I want to say. I mean, so it's really nice to see that in the game. And, big shout out to EA, of course, for giving some Irish players an actual shout. I've been waiting for some Paddy's Day cards for a long time, Eric, and this is the closest thing I can get to them.
I hope they go on the squad for a good time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I actually, speaking of Ogbene and how good his card is, I actually play him as a box-to-box just because he has that defensive stat as well. He can really play in a plethora of positions here, and you can see why he's fitting into a lot of these squads. Davies moving forward out here, and Lee defended well. It's getting close though, Eric. 52 minutes on the clock. Lee needs to get under the goal soon.
Yeah, he does indeed. It's been a great spectacle for everybody, not only ourselves, but anybody who's watching. We're getting to really see what Lee is about. He's not here to just come second in the group and leave with, a top 8 finish. When he gets out of the groups, because I think mathematically it's pretty close, if not already the case, when we see him in the Camden, whoever he is going to get a chance to play against in the quarterfinals, they're going to have a real game in their hands from what we've seen.
Yeah, 100%. I really feel like in a lot of these groups, Eric, we have who's on top and who's in second. And, even some groups are even closer than that. But, yeah, a lot of these players have really showcased what they can do. And a lot of talent has really been shown this year for the eLeague of Ireland. So it's really nice to see. And here's Ham! And that's the finish that we wanted to see to tie it all up here. Just under the 60th minute. Fantastic play by Lee. And it's game on.
Absolutely. It's 3-3. And it's similar to what I said before the game's kicked off. Try and get a goal in the first half, and then try and get a goal in the second half. And now Tyrone will be frustrated, and that's exactly the position that you want to be in. You want to create a position where he is feeling a sort of bit of pressure because this game is now 3-3. It's up for grabs completely, and Tyrone really needs to grab it by the neck. Otherwise, he might find himself a goal down, and that's the type of frustration that I think Lee needed to ensue within Tyrone, because right now this game is anybody's.
And, you called it early on about, controlling the tempo and frustrating him. And that's exactly what Lee has done. And it's worked. We're 3-3 here. There's 25 odd minutes left on the clock. Best on the ball, and Tyrone defends well. We've seen at the end of the first leg, though, Tyrone, at the flick of a switch, can just turn on that switch and go ham. No pun intended. But him on the ball, and Lee defends well. It has to be said, though, Eric, as well. We talk about Lee's attack. His defense this game has been perfection.
Yeah, I think he's very calm right now as well. The sort of gameplay I'm getting off of him. His energy seems calm. This whole leg has been, a masterclass in game setting and time management and just biding himself in his attacks very well. So I bet he wishes he did this in leg 1, but better late than never, because right now it's 3-3. A few chances gone back in leg 1, even for Lee. He could find himself a few goals up here.
Yeah, he really could have. And, no matter what way the game goes, I'm sure he's going to remember those moments where he could have had a chance. And here's Tyrone Ryan, increasing that intensity. Haaland, he sounds him on the left and he goes right, tries to play the pass. Collins is there. He had the chance to score, Eric. He went for the ball across, was the wrong option.
Yeah, it's not very characteristic of Tyrone. Honestly, it's not something that we usually see him do. We may see him make a mistake defensively, but very rarely do we see him do something like that going forward. So he is human after all. And right now, Lee getting by the byline, passing it inside once more. Maybe a pass extra too much. That was insane play along the byline there. And he could have just maybe even touched it inside, perhaps, and went for that shot. But he opted for the extra pass. Right now, we see a back post cross into Ronaldo, which has gone wide. We have 15 minutes left here. Not a pause in sight. For me, I'd be hitting that pause button harder than I hit vending machines. But right now, nobody wants a pause, and we're seeing mistakes after mistakes. That's why the pause button exists, to reset. Right now, we need to see it. We're seeing Maldini build out from the back right now as well.
Both players are just going crazy here. And here's Ogbene on the ball, pushing forward for Lee. 10 minutes left on the clock. Is there a chance for the comeback story? Oh, and it could be a penalty. It's not. It's a corner kick here. We know there's a few tacticians with this. And Lee proved he was one of them earlier on. Best on the ball. Goes to the edge of the box to Cullen. Finds Socrates. Goes for the step over. As a man, goes for the scoop, and it's not going to be a penalty. Looked like he could have got taken out there. Tyrone Ryan, bit lucky on that one.
Yeah, I think both times he was decently lucky. I've seen them given before. I've seen less, much less. So it's a really interesting. But again, Tyrone making very silly mistakes at the end of this game. There's only 6 minutes left, and you know what? This is no longer Tyrone's game to win. Lee is coming forward, and he is the one that deserves to be in front. But at the moment, it does stay 3-3.
Yeah, Lee's really proved this game why he deserves to be in the E-League of Ireland. Yeah. Tyrone looked like the clear player in terms of, attacking ability in that first leg, but Lee has really brought it up here, and he's made it an absolute slugfest. Here's Cafu, goes out wide to Best, looking for somebody in the middle. 88th minute. We're coming down to the very end of the game. Cafu to Cullen, finds the ball in the ham. Mbappe has space. Will he find the player? Will he find the shot? Kylian Mbappe! He's going for it! Defense by Tyrone is fantastic. 1 minute of added time here. And Tyrone Ryan breaking out for Shamrock Rovers. Davies tries to find a player in the middle with Patelis. He has space. Goes out wide.
Oh my God.
It's terrible. There's nothing Tyrone can do about that. That is so unlucky at the end. But what a fixture, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be 3-3 here between Shamrock Rovers and Athlone Town. Tyrone couldn't get the victory after leading that first leg. We've seen a fantastic performance by Lee Cairns to get back into this game. Eric, that was absolutely amazing. What a great fixture.
Yeah, well, fair play to both of them. They both showed that they deserve to be in them top spots. And for sure, mathematically, both of them are true from Group C now. Fair play to Lee. Honestly, he got back into that game. He slugged it out. He got back in. He really had chances to go on and win it. Tyrone won't be happy with his performance. And you know what? I think Tyrone's the type of player, he will take that personally. He doesn't like to not win, I guess. Maybe practice hasn't been going the best for him lately, but I bet we're going to see him put more and more time in now for the finals than he has already for the groups.
Yeah, I mean, look, you could see there, even from leg 1 to leg 2, it nearly was like 2 different players from 2 different games. It was really just like a flip over, and you can tell, going off the previous fixture, Eric, what was 9-3, I believe, over 2 legs, to that fixture being 3-3. Some score lines don't really justify games.